early on in this crisis, in around mid-March, I got very concerned for myself because we had to isolate ourselves, obviously. And I know in the past, when I've gotten very lonely, I have hurt myself in the past. And so I got very worried for myself when they announced that we were going to be locked up for 2 weeks. I mean, let alone 2 months. At the time, I believe the first announcement, we were going to reopen at the end of March, and this was in the middle of March when it happened. And I was very worried for myself that I decided to finish up everything that I was doing because I didn't think I would live through the 2 weeks, so to be honest. And so I remember using that time to really finish up some computer games that I'd been writing, to finish up some goals that I had for my own life at the time. And what was really upsetting is the first time I ever heard the words social distancing. When I heard those words, it was almost like a death sentence had been pronounced. It was like the judge putting down the gavel and sentencing me to death. It really was, because in the past, I have been social distanced before in my own doing, and I have almost ended my life. And so I got very, very panicky over that. But it gave me some motivation to do a lot of things that I've always wanted to do. I got a lot of exercise during that time. I did a lot of reading about machine learning, which I'm using for a number of projects. I learned a lot of new things during that time. And even though we weren't supposed to do that, I took a lot of long distance walks along the Kirkland Connector Trail and into the northern part of the city. And I'm so glad that it was only 2 weeks when they first announced it. Had they said 2 months, I don't think I would have done so well. I'm hopeful that somebody had did some research into how to make this announcement so that it's not 2 months at a time. You know, it's 2 weeks and then another 2 and then another 2. Although you can't do it too many times because people will start to distrust the announcement, right? That's a very tough psychological balance. If I were the governor and I knew I had to lock down for 2 months, I don't think I would have came up with such a beautiful solution. But what I really like is, now that I've proven to myself that I could handle 2 months what I thought I couldn't handle for 2 weeks, it's given me a lot of ammunition to try to knock out some other goals in my life as well. One goal especially that I want to knock out is my social anxiety problems. I know it sounds kind of weird. I almost kill myself when I lock up socially. I hurt myself when I go out socially. It's so weird. Oh, I like to practice it. I just don't like to dive in. To give you an idea, a couple weeks, actually closer to a month ago now, I think it was Donald Trump or maybe one of the state governors was very upset about these college students going on spring break. And they showed the beaches, I think in Florida or maybe California, of college students drinking a beer that was named after the virus, right? And they were having a good time. And I can't have a good time like that very easily. I always get very upset over things, you know. Somebody mentions something and I just get envious or something like that, right? Or the noise just causes me to go crazy, and then I make a scene and get myself in trouble, or just, you know, embarrass myself, or depending on the situation, I getting in trouble, getting hauled away in handcuffs sometimes for disturbing the peace. That has happened to me before, and you know, I wish there was a safer environment for me to practice that without ending up in jail. Because obviously I don't want to end up in jail again. I don't want to end up with a record, you know, just when the lockdown's going to be over and potentially not being able to go back to work or something like that. I wish there was a virtual world where I could practice these social events. Well, there kind of was when I turned on the TV and watched it and tried to see how nice it was and all that. The other thing I like is right now when I go to the beach, and you know, there are a lot of people who don't listen to the governor, but it gives me a little bit of practice where it's not nearly as dense as it normally would be. You know, I'm recording this on May 9th. You know, on May 9th, 2019, it was a lot more dense, right? And gives me a little bit of practice. But I survived 2 months what I thought I couldn't survive for 2 weeks. And that's given me a lot of ammunition. And I really want to practice that because obviously I miss out on a lot of things because of my anxiety. Sometimes there's a work-related event and I skip out early because I just can't handle it anymore, or I don't even go altogether, and I really miss out. And It's kind of weird that I claim this, but believe me, both extremes really hurt me. Social distancing has almost caused me to kill myself in the past. Being in a crowded event has almost caused me to kill myself, or at least get in trouble in the past. I need some in between. What I really dream of is I wish we could all go to the beach to write computer games together. I don't know why. I know this is a silly concept of mine, but that would be my dream vacation. Of course, nobody would want to do that. I sometimes do take my computer to the beach or the boat marina in Kirkland to write computer games, and it's nice to have background noises and not really have to interact with people, especially right now where you can't even be within 6 feet of people, right? That I do kind of like. But when I have to start interacting with people and getting involved with drinking or hearing about people's life stories and then getting envious or having other people envious at my life story, that's when I run into trouble, and that's when I get rowdy, and then I end up going to jail, right? Or I wake up in jail sometimes, right? But now that I've gotten over 2 months what I couldn't do in 2 weeks, I'm very happy about that, and I'm excited to give this new challenge a try too. Thanks for watching.